welcome back to my channel. Today I'm getting out for a kayak camp on St Helens Bay. So it took a bit of getting launched here because I'd say the tide's out and yeah, had to got a lot of weeds to get through, but made it through. So I'm heading out that way over there and hopefully get round over there. There's a couple of campsites I want to check out over there. I don't know whether I'm allowed to camp there or not, but hopefully I can find a spot where I can just pitch a tent, have a nice night. So anyway, we'll get paddling and see how we go. Yes, well, I've paddled a bit round the bay. I was coming around that way and I thought this was calm water, which it is, but it's absolutely chock-a-block full of weed. So I've come out here and trying to get around it and get over to the other side there, and hopefully there should be a channel through there where all the boats from St Helens get out. One thing about it, it's not deep. I reckon I could probably stand on this here. Well, I've managed to make it around the weed bank and I've made it into the channel that is obviously where the boats of St Helens come out. I'm just drifting towards the side of the other side of the bay. I'll tell you that name up in the top left hand corner when I find it out. But I think the most thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and find a spot to camp, dump my gear, and then go for a paddle further out to the bay, into the bay, have a look after I've had a cuppa. And yes, well, I've had to push my way through the weeds here because there was just no way of getting around them. So a bit of pushing with the paddle and I got through into this little bay here. So I'm going to try and find a campsite in here. So I've managed to get in here. I came in over there through the reeds and along there, beached my kayak there, and I've gone up into the bush there, but really there's not a lot of campsites. Pretty rough, pretty thick. So there's a campsite, a definite designated campsite around the corner, probably about 1 or 2 k's away. Yeah, well, it's a very shallow bay, I'll tell you that. So I'm back in the water again and trying to find myself another campsite. Yeah, so I've arrived at a spot that I thought looked pretty good. So I've paddled from up in there around the edge of the bay here, come to here, and that's the mouth of St Helens Bay out there, and I've got a campsite up in here. So there's the beach that I pulled up on, and I'm going to camp right up in there. Time for a beer before I get the tent set up. Oh yeah. That's lovely after a long paddle. I'll tell you what, when I set the tent up and everything else, it was warm. I mean, it was really warm. I was sweating like crazy. But things change really quickly. If you look out there, we actually have cloud coming down on the mountains. And the temperature has dropped drastically, yeah. So, I've had my nice little bottle of wine. I'm going to head back in. I may even get a fire going yet. Oh, so I've got a little bit of fire going there for some bit of warmth. Won't get much bigger than that. Cover it up in the morning, no one will even know I've been here. Tonight on the menu's roast chicken with creamy mashed spuds. So I got to put 250ml in that one. And 250ml in that one. Wow, what a contrast. I'm actually starting to get rain here. I don't know how much I'm going to get. I think it's just misty stuff, but considering when I tried to set my tent up, it was not boiling sun, but it was quite warm. Thank goodness I've got this little bit of a fire going. Keep me a little bit warm. Got a few more minutes of rehydrating my food and we can get into that. And look, if I've got to go to bed, I've got to go to bed. But yes, well, I had to retreat into my tent. I don't think you can see that, but there's a lot of, might even hear it. Yeah, raining quite steadily. So yeah, I'm sitting in my tent, eating my mashed spuds and roast chicken. Yes, well, it's only 8:45, but I'm off to bed. It's turned really yucky. Yeah, you can see it better that way, but might even see it on the lens of the camera. It's been misty raining now for about an hour and a half. I managed to get my dinner. Don't think I'll bother buying the roast chicken again with the 2 packets in it, because a bit too much to prepare, and the mashed potatoes ended up everywhere. But it was tasty. But I don't think this weather's going to improve tonight, so hopefully tomorrow morning I can get up and yeah, certainly hope I'm not paddling home in this kind of stuff, but we shall see. Anyway, like I said, I'm off to bed. I'll see you in the morning. Well, good morning. The weather's a little bit better now this morning. Cloudy, but I don't think it's going to rain, so I'm going to have a headwind going back, so it's going to be a bit of a tough paddle, but yeah, them the brakes. So I had a bit of a rough night too. Had to go to bed early, of course, because of the rain, which didn't bother me. I was nice and dry in there, but somewhere in the middle of the night, between 12 and 1 o'clock, there was some kind of fishing boat, or I don't know, dredge or something, just operating just off here. So that was really noisy, and but the only thing I can say at the end, that it was very consistent with its motor, so I must have went back to sleep, and when I woke up again it was gone. So anyway, we'll have breakfast. I've got a cooked breakfast going here, and then we'll think about packing up camp and getting on the road while getting on the paddle. So I just pulled up my tent and I saw this little critter come out from underneath it. He's So there we go, campsite's all packed up. Just a bit of a flat spot there. Couple of weeks time you won't even know that I was here. Well, there we go, that was my campsite just in here. Lovely little spot. Really enjoyed it, except for whatever was out here last night trawling around. Anyway, I got enough sleep. So over there must be where the oyster farm is, because there's a boat over there. I was actually going to paddle across there and have a look at it, but I've got a headwind and I've got a fair way to get back, so I'm going to have to stick around the coastline here. Well, that was tough. Yeah. Still now I'm floating backwards. It's taken me nearly an hour to get 1.4 kilometres. So that just goes to show you how hard the wind was. Yeah, I want to get round to the other side before the tide goes out. And I've got to take the long way home. Well, that was a tough paddle, I tell you. Coming round that point, I really had to battle the current, and then nearly got stuck on the sandbar. Managed to get out into some deep water, but I'm just coming up on the picnic area, playground, where I launched my boat yesterday. It's a relief to finally get back. I've had enough. Okay, let me have a look at that. It took me 2 hours to cover 4.38, so I did better on the second part. Took me an hour to get across the first bay, which was only just on 1 kilometre, and another hour to go another 3, so yeah, did pretty well getting here, but that was tough. I'm glad I did it. I don't know whether I'm going to do that one again. But anyway, so that's it for this video. if you like these kind of videos, consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.